Hey, hey, I am live, this time from a remote location. As you can tell, this is definitely not Las Vegas. Um, I don't know, maybe you can guess where I'm at. So it is our 10th week. Happy, was it Monday? Happy Monday. Welcome to week 10 of our daily live trainings. And we didn't want to miss a beat, so here we are, coming at you live from the Grand Canyon, baby. And it is a windy day, but a beautiful day here. So I thought that we would broadcast here. StreamYard, by the way, which is the tool that we use for these, just released an update just in time for us that we can now dial in here from our phones. So that's what I'm on. I'm on my phone right now. So anyway, today, well, before I get into the content, let me introduce my co-host, Ronan Rahaman. Where are you, my friend?
Here I am, still in Vegas.
Yeah. Your setting hasn't changed much.
You know what? If I had half a brain, I would have used the virtual whatever and taken a picture of the Grand Canyon. But didn't
it's
do
all
it.
good. All good. Well, they can see the Grand Canyon and for real, like behind me here. So
Yeah. I think this is just utterly amazing to me that we can do this.
It is actually amazing.
I'm that old where I remember that I hated people with numbers with zeros. Right? So
Fair enough.
But anyway, hey, it's Monday. And Monday is absolutely my favorite day of the week because today we teach the most foundational thing that we teach that everything else builds off of, which is market to message match.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to scoot out of the way. I'm going to let you do that.
Cool.
And just remind everybody that we are live. We do appreciate comments and questions. So feel free to engage.
Awesome.
And I'll see you in a bit.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, we're live here from the Grand Canyon on my phone. I'm going to do my best to hold the camera as steady as possible so I don't freak anybody out. My name is Brian Williams, and I'm the founder of Real Appointments, where we guarantee sales appointments for our clients and for ourselves. And what I'm going to teach right now literally is how we've been crushing it during this whole coronavirus epidemic, pandemic, crisis, whatever you want to call it. If you get this piece in your marketing and your communication, everything else falls into place. And our businesses are growing like crazy right now, and we're here to do what we can to help your businesses do the same thing. So what is, in fact, a market to message match? And well, I will tell you, it's a very simple concept. It takes time to dial it in. Here's the concept. Your market are the people who you want to connect with, who you want to have an appointment with, who you want to sit down and have a discussion with about business. That's your market. Simple as that. Your message is what you say to that market to get them to have those conversations with you, right? It's your message. And if you can dial it in where your message and your market match perfectly, you're going to be in great shape when it comes to your business. Okay, so I'm going to explain how you do this. I have a formula for you. I'm not able to show my screen today because I'm literally on my phone. So I'm going to have to just, you take notes and I'll just regurgitate the content. Okay, so here we go. The first thing I want you to write down is industry. Now, your industry is the big place that you do business, right? It could be health and wellness. It could be automotive. It could be entertainment. It could be sports and entertainment. It could be something that you do business in, okay, as your industry. Write that down. And if you do business in more than one industry, that's okay. For this exercise today, just write down one industry, right? Maybe it's travel, right? I'm traveling here in the Grand Canyon. All right. Second, I want you to write down the words market segment. Now, most industries have thousands, if not tens of thousands of market segments, okay? So if it was travel, a market segment could be airlines. A market segment could be hotels. A market segment could be extreme vacations, okay? Just what is the market segment that you want to do business in? Where do you want to have your next appointment come from? What market segment is that? The next thing I want you to write down is the ideal prospect. Who is it specifically that you want to connect with, that you want to have a sit down with? Imagine this. This is what I want you to imagine. Imagine that I brought you into a room and there was 12 seats at the boardroom. and all 12 of those seats are filled with the exact kind of people who you would like to have a conversation with about your business. Who is sitting at that table? Those are the people that I want you to write down. Maybe you write them down based on their title, like owner or marketing director or human resource director. Who is it sitting in that room that you want to engage with, that you want to have a conversation with? And that's the visualization I want you to have when you're thinking about the who, because that's your market, within the market segment, within the industry. Now, here's where the wheat gets separated from the chaff, if you will. The next thing I want you to write down is pain or reason. Pain or reason. Now, if you can think about what is it that your people sitting in that boardroom are struggling with? What are they frustrated with? What is something that they're doing in their business that they'd rather not do themselves, that they'd rather have someone else do, right? Or what's causing them frustration or pain? What are they struggling with? What do they worry about? If you can write down some things that they might not want to do, that you can solve for them or you can take over for them, that's their pain or their frustration or their worry that you come in and help them with. And that's how we're going to help you craft your message, right? If you can dial that in, I promise you, all of your marketing, all of your communication, whether you're doing social media, whether you're doing television, whether you're doing direct mail, doesn't matter. All of that will start to really come together in a very, very beautiful way. And you will stand out from your competition and you'll be the one getting those appointments. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how this market to message match manifests itself into real marketing. Okay, this is Ronan Rahman's LinkedIn profile. And you can see below his name is a headline. Now that headline was crafted based on following this formula that I just gave you. I'll read it to you. Guaranteed appointments with IT decision makers at $25 million plus US based companies so you can focus on IT solutions. Now, it seems simple when I read it, but there's a lot of psychology in those words, and it does follow this formula, right? He says what he does, guaranteed appointments, who he does it for, that's his market, IT decision makers at $25+ million companies in the US, and he also calls out the frustration or the pain, which is so they can focus on what they do best, which is IT solutions. That's how the formula works. Let's show you another example. I'll wait for Ronan to pull that up on the screen here. Okay, here is Shannon Graham, a client of ours. I'll read his headline. Cornerman for CEOs. I protect your investments by getting peak performance from your founders, okay? So he works with venture capitalists. He works with business owners who are growing fast-paced companies, okay? And so he's telling the venture capitalist who is investing millions of dollars in these companies what he does. I protect your investment. That's the pain point. He takes that worry out of the equation, if you will. Okay. And he tells them who he does it for. He gets peak performance from their founders. And that will resonate, and that does resonate very well with his venture capitalist, his VC community. Let's show one more example before we go back to full screen here. Let's see who we pull up. All right, here's Howard. Howard 10. All right, I'll read his. I help maxed out CPAs. I love that. Maxed out CPAs. Like, his market knows exactly that he's talking to him. Significantly increase their residual income without interfering with tax season. Again, this is a brilliantly written, if I do say so ourselves, he's a client of ours, headline using this formula, right? He's calling out who his market is. Maxed out CPAs. I'm telling you, when the CPA reads that, they know that he's talking to them. He tells them exactly what he does for them, significantly increasing their residual income. So now I know whether I want to connect with him or not, if that's something I want. Obviously, that's something that a lot of CPAs want. And he even goes further and says without interfering with tax season, which is something that the CPAs cannot afford to do. So those are three specific examples of how this market to message match formula, which I gave to you earlier on, can manifest itself and come out as these headlines. And I will tell you, you can bring me back to full screen, Ronan, that take some time with this, right? Don't just like whip something out. Whoops, there we go. Don't just like do this in a minute or two. Sometimes we take hours, days, or even weeks to try to really craft these messages so that they resonate perfectly with our audience. And oftentimes we will run them by not just ourselves internally, but we'll run them by other people. Specifically, my recommendation is, why don't you write your headlines out using this formula and float them by the market of the exact people that you're trying to connect with, and ask them if it resonates with them or not. And they'll give you some input for you to digest and noodle, if you will, and just hone in that message even clearer. So with that, I'm going to bring Ronan back on, see if he has anything that he wants to add to this conversation before we wrap up today's training. There you are.
Yeah, no, the one thing I would add is that this is the first impression. This is the first impression that you make. This headline shows up in many, many places, and it's the elevator pitch of your elevator pitch. You know what I mean? Like it's just very, very tight and surgically designed to surgically get into their brains and explain what you do and why it is that they need to connect with you, which is the first step in building that network.
That's right. That's right. And one thing I want to mention is Ronan and I are going to be hosting our next live guaranteed sales appointment event in July, the second week of July. He's put up a link there, guaranteedappointmentslive.com. If you'd like more information about this event and how you can participate either in person in Las Vegas, or maybe we'll just do it at the Grand Canyon. I don't know. It's kind of nice out here. Or virtually from the comfort of your own office or your home.
I'll head down there right now.
There you go. Just fill out your information at the form you see at guaranteedappointmentslive.com, and we'll make sure that you get notified as to the details for that workshop where we unpack our entire process for developing guaranteed appointments for our business and for all of our clients' businesses. And we'd love to have you there. We'd love to show you everything else that we're doing. And I will also say that we will be live again tomorrow morning, not from the Grand Canyon, but from another really cool place in Arizona. I'm gonna keep that a secret until tomorrow.
Secret undisclosed location. You're with Dick Cheney.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that's funny. And we're gonna take this to the next step. So we showed you how to develop your market to message match today. Tomorrow we're gonna show you how to incorporate that, among other things, into your profile for social media.
Awesome. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be fantastic. And enjoy the rest of the day, even if you're not in the Grand Canyon. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
I'll tell you, one of the most fun I've had so far is watching all the people walking by here, looking at me like, what is this dude doing? What is this guy doing here at the Grand Canyon, man?
All right. Well, it's an opportunity to press the flesh and do some belly-to-belly work.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Cheers.